Hello friends, my name is Ryan, and I'm going to tell you a story named The Forgotten Temple, Shadows That Feast on Flesh, which is a very amazing story full of twists, so let's start. It was a crisp evening when our group of 4 friends, Hannah, Maura, Cody, and I, Henry, decided to venture into the unknown, following a map that had mysteriously appeared in our hands. This was no ordinary map. It had been passed down through generations, said to lead to the legendary Forgotten Temple hidden deep in the dense forests of a forgotten land. Rumors whispered of the temple's cursed existence, where shadows that feast on flesh roamed free. We were all skeptical at first, thinking it was a mere tale spun by villagers seeking to keep their land protected, but as the weeks passed, curiosity gnawed at us. We couldn't shake the feeling that this story was more than just superstition. One evening, as we gathered around a campfire, the map appeared in front of me. No one could explain how it had gotten there. It was folded, ancient-looking, with symbols that none of us could decipher, but the path it showed was clear, straight into the heart of the jungle. Without a second thought, we packed our bags and set off, eager for the adventure. The journey was grueling, with days spent trekking through thick foliage and nights under a sky that seemed to grow darker with each step we took. The deeper we ventured, the more unsettling the surroundings became. The trees whispered in the wind, and the ground beneath our feet seemed to tremble ever so slightly, as though something was waiting for us. As we drew closer to the temple, a feeling of dread settled over us. The air grew thick with humidity, and the forest was eerily silent, as if even the animals dared not speak. Soon, we reached a clearing, and there it stood before us, the Forgotten Temple. It was massive, ancient, and imposing. Covered in vines and moss, it seemed to rise from the very earth itself, as though the jungle had tried to reclaim it. The stone walls were engraved with symbols, most of which were faded beyond recognition, but one thing was clear: the temple was not meant to be discovered. The entrance loomed ahead, a massive stone door partially ajar. A cold wind seemed to pour from within, and the moment we stepped inside, the temperature dropped. I could feel the weight of the place pressing down on us, as though the walls were alive, watching, waiting. We hesitated, but curiosity won over fear. As we ventured deeper into the temple, our footsteps echoed in the silence. The walls were covered in strange murals depicting dark, twisted figures. Their eyes followed us as we moved, and an oppressive energy filled the air, making it hard to breathe. Then we found it, the heart of the temple. In the center of the room was an altar, ancient and worn. Upon it lay a stone idol, its eyes empty yet somehow full of malice. Around it were strange markings, as if a ritual had been performed here many times before. Cody, ever the brave one, reached out to touch the idol. As his fingers brushed the cold stone, the ground shook violently. A deep, guttural growl echoed through the temple, and the shadows in the corners seemed to come alive, writhing and stretching toward us. The air thickened, and suddenly, the once still shadows leapt from the walls, forming into twisted creatures with glowing eyes. They were not human, but something far older, something that had been waiting for centuries to feast. Panic set in as we scrambled to find an escape. The shadows lunged at us, their forms shifting and morphing, moving with terrifying speed. Hannah and Maura screamed as they were pulled into the darkness, their voices cut off as though swallowed by the very walls themselves. Cody and I fought to free them, but it was no use, the shadows were too powerful. In that moment, I realized the truth. The temple was not just a place of worship, it was a prison, built to trap the souls of those who dared to disturb its peace. The shadows were not mere specters, they were ancient guardians, feasting on the souls of the unwary. Cody and I managed to escape, but at a cost. As we fled, we heard the whispers of Hannah and Maura, their voices lost in the abyss of the temple. We ran, not daring to look back, the shadows still hot on our heels. When we finally emerged from the temple, the jungle was silent once more, as if nothing had ever happened. We made our way back to civilization, forever haunted by the memory of the Forgotten Temple. The shadows that feasted on flesh would remain there, waiting for the next group of fools brave enough to seek them out. And now, friends, I share this story with you not just as a tale of adventure, but as a warning. Some places are meant to remain forgotten, their secrets buried for a reason. There are things in this world, darker than the deepest shadows, that are best left undisturbed. But I must ask, if you found this story intriguing, if it has sparked a curiosity within you, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel. There are many more tales, more twists, and more darkness waiting to be uncovered. So, join us, and let's try every day to uncover the truth, one story at a time. I hope this suspense-filled, native storyteller's tale captures the essence you were looking for. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments or additions.